Okay, I got it. Who's counting my tribes? Okay, so I wrote something, so I'm just going to read it. Thank you, thank you, thank you all for being here at i.c.stars, Kansas City's Cycle 4 Dream Speech event. This is a special night. It concludes the end of a core workshop that sets the stage for the remainder of the internship, which really ends tomorrow. Um, the workshop is part following instructions, email communication, meeting deadlines, part planning and practicing gratitude, along with community building. Because our program focuses on business, leadership, and technology as well, it involves managing competing demands, which is to say, the interns, everybody here, have had a variety of sessions on giving and receiving feedback, professional business writing, creating powerful goals, working with different personality types, and managing conflict in the workplace. Plus, they hold many other responsibilities um, as well as doing this workshop. This one is also part writing assignment, proofreading, editing, and as you'll see and hear tonight, part public speaking, plus being vulnerable and stepping out of one's comfort zone. And it's so much more. Most importantly, this workshop is about dreaming. Anthony Morgan, a Toronto based human rights lawyer, policy consultant, and community educator, informs us that, quote, one of the first casualties of systemic oppression is the ability to dream and see beyond the boundaries of the systemic injustices. This assignment asks each intern to reflect on who they are, who they wish to be, and to envision the future. And as Morgan also declares, to quote, encourage them to realize their fullest individual and collective potential, to reach beyond the boundaries. It's challenging work. Another workshop the interns completed asked them to state in one word what they were put on earth to do, their mission or their planetary responsibility. That too is challenging work, and they cannot do it alone. That's why you're all here. Um, they were all required to invite somebody. Not everybody was able to. Not everybody was able to make it. Real lives happen, and we understand that. But to each of you and every guest that was attended, you all have one person that loves, that cares, and who can champion you guys along the way. Um, they chose you. Now you know why you're here. To remind them of the words they'll speak tonight, to hold them accountable to their dreams, to help them co create the future they see for themselves, to build with them. Robin Kelly, who's a Black historian and author of the book Freedom Dreams, reveals, quote, without new visions, we don't know what to build, only what to knock down. Kelly coined the term freedom dreaming to describe the power of imagination as a tool for individual and collective liberation. At i.c.stars, we focus on individual and collective liberation. Think with me for a moment. Think about the crime or violence in our communities. Think about the heavy weight of inflation, unemployment, the social inequalities or military conflicts between nations. The world is hurting. That's why to some, dreaming feels hopeless, useless, when to dream like rest is a revolutionary act, like resistance. To dream is a privilege. The choice then is to build or to squander the opportunity. That is why this night is so special, because we all get to witness as each of these interns exerts that privilege, the privilege to dream. So thank you all again for being here tonight. Thank you all so much. I'd like to mention a little bit about our facilitator. We have a facilitator who volunteers her time. She's an ex-educator. Her name is Jill Weininger. She works with the interns. She introduces the workshop, and she basically treats it almost like a writing assignment, giving them one-to-one instruction and feedback and guidance to just sort of coach them along the way. She is not able to join us. She lives out of state, but I want to give a big thank you to her, who basically did the work and worked with each and everybody here. So without any further ado, we will begin tonight. So thank you all for your attention. And the first speaker is Brandon Jordan. Come on down, sir.
Do we touch the mic or do we not touch the mic? Oh, oh, oh. Just no. Let Q head out. Thank everybody for coming through and supporting us. Welcome to our space. Hopefully, I get to hear some good speeches and we don't bore y'all too much. And without further ado, I'll start. All right. My name is Brandon Jordan once again. And I want to say thank you. Well, contact. Y'all know we 25 years in the future, right? Hopefully. Okay. All right. Well, let me get back to my speech. I want to say thank you for the Nobel Award tonight. Getting here was not easy. Back in May of 2025, I was honestly living in the blender. I was trying to maintain my finances a few months prior. I had gotten my Class A trucking license suspended due to being targeted by someone who wasn't doing his job. It messed up my plans. And when it messed up my plans, I was kind of fine with that because I knew the Most High had better plans for me and opened more doors for me. And I was able to be here at i.c.stars. Felt like I was living the saying, that gift wrapped in sandpaper. I always hated truck driving, had gotten a taste of coding during the pandemic, and I already knew what I wanted to do, just not how to get there, which was getting in coding. Then in May 2025, I still recall a day my partner had heard someone on the radio speaking about i.c.stars and passing the information over to me. I wasted no time applying, and I tried. And I was tired. I was fed up, and I wanted something different. So I was just ready for change. So I did something different. And I hope this was an opportunity to do what I liked and also make a good living for it. I got accepted into the program, made the most of every opportunity I was given, and I was given, and I learned so much than just tech. I was around men and women who was here to pour knowledge into me. And they really grew me up in the program. So I want to say thank you to cohorts. You know what I'm saying? Thank y'all for pouring into me and helping me get where I am today. After i.c.stars, I managed to land my first tech position as a help desk worker, where I learned a lot about basic level tech skills. And I didn't feel like fit it well, but I stayed long enough to learn what was needed and became better at the job that I was proud to have. I was working on my front end development skills pretty much every day and stayed sharp to add what I had already learned. Not long after, I landed my first front end development job, which made my blade even sharper. Once again, I felt thrown to the wolves, but you can always find your pack if you seek what you need. After that, I knew I had the skills to do what I really wanted to do, and that was cybersecurity. I had already picked up 2 certificates before I even thought about i.c.stars, but I figured I was going to force myself into tech, and cybersecurity was the door that I eventually crack open. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause you don't need schooling for cybersecurity. You just need certificates, and you in there. And I did just that. I went back and utilized the alumni resident program and went back to school. And with the 24 credits I already had prior, it was a no-brainer. So in 2027, I had my BA in computer science. Time came, time went. In my role of doing cybersecurity, I earned my CompTIA A+ certificate and farther skills and knowledge to were attained. It was only right at this time to give back to the community where it all started. As I advanced in my career, I began to start creating a business plan to gather more information about nonprofits. I began to envision a plan and define my key points on what I would need to run a nonprofit, along with clarifying my why for doing it. At this point in my journey, I started to reflect on my path and the life skills that had been attained, and the people who poured into me on the way. I learned how to make decisions faster, improve in personal relationships, build social networks, and work as part of the team to accept the differences along leadership, maxing out all my badges. These were the skills that brought me to my nonprofit to give back to community where it all started. I started up a small cybersecurity business. The objective was to focus on helping novices develop into competent learners. The program built their understanding to become experts in the field of cybersecurity. We help aspiring cybersecurity experts bridge the gap among people who think like me and participate in the program to bring technology products and service to market with the goal of rapid growth. More career options with the community, greater financial backing, because we all know it's a lot of jobs out here that don't pay us well enough to survive, to live, but they pay us enough just to survive. And overall just career growth. I just wanted to put that in community. In this economy, what's better than the ability to grow in the tech field? While the future is driven by tech, it is backed by statistics that people who look like me remain significantly unrepresented in the tech industry. The numbers tell a story. We constitute roughly 12 to 13% of the total US workforce. We make up 7 to 8% tech jobs and just 1% tech executives. So I'm aiming for the stars. Y'all see me, and I'm down to help whoever needs it. I wouldn't call this systematic oppression, but systematic awareness. The inventor in me wanted to take the model that already worked, like i.c.stars, and create a path more directly related to cybersecurity. So not a new path, but an enhanced one. Now I said a lot in a short amount of time. Hopefully something in this story helped somebody, gave perspective, insight, or even better understanding on who I am. But I wouldn't be here without the aid, compassion, empathy, generosity, patience, and selflessness of those who stood with me and helped me discover my path even clearer without farther ado. But I wouldn't be here. Well, I just want to say thank you. Thank you, my mother, for the belief and everything else. I could write a book. Thank you, Sydney, for the support and sticking through my tough times during my time of finding my path and my purpose. And I want to say thank you to my older brother Joe for the conversations and getting me out the house when I forget to live and have some fun just because I'm so tied up in paying bills or figuring out how I'm gonna make this money to do this, do that, do that. And I want to say thank you, Cycle 4. I want to thank all y'all. Y'all really helped me grow and become a better man. And tonight, I now leave y'all with a poem that sums up my journey. Pain taught me lessons. Pain taught me lessons. Comfort never could. Loss revealed the places I need to grow. Solitude gave me space to reflect and heal. Victory reminded me I was on the right path. Life built my resistance. And family, well, they showed me what true happiness means. And that's the end of my speech. Thank y'all for all coming. Good luck to the rest of the crew now.
Thank you. That was a great start. Brandon's planetary responsibility, his one word mission on Earth is to create. Next up is Mary Awa. Come on down, Mary.
Good evening, everyone, and thank you for coming today. I can't fully describe what this moment means to me. It's such an incredibly humbling experience. It's a moment that brings reflection, pride, and deep gratitude. Standing here tonight as the Chief Information Security Officer of a major company and receiving the Cybersecurity Influencer of the Year award feels surreal. Not because I didn't believe it was possible, but because I remember exactly where I started. 25 years ago, I was just someone with a passion for cybersecurity, a lot of questions, and a dream fresh out of i.c.stars. I began as a security administrator, learning the ropes and fixing issues one line of code at a time. From there, I moved into a security analyst role where I began to truly understand how to protect systems, anticipate threats, and think critically about risk. Within about 5 years, I stepped into management, and that's where things shifted. I wasn't just solving problems anymore. I was leading people, building strategy, and aligning security with something bigger than just IT. Reaching the CISO role wasn't a straight path. It was forged through long nights, significant setbacks, steep learning curves, and profound personal growth. Early in my career, I faced a defining moment during a high stakes incident response. A 0-day breach had triggered alarms across our systems, threatening not only customer data, but our company's reputation. I still remember the moment I walked into the Security Operations Center. The screens were flashing alerts, engineers were scrambling, and the CEO was demanding updates. Instead of reacting emotionally, I took a breath, instantly prioritized the alerts, and gathered my team. What do we know? Let's isolate the systems, gather logs, and cut any lateral movement, I said. My voice was steady, even though internally I was racing. For the next 12 hours, we worked tirelessly. I coordinated with IT to air gap affected segments, briefed legal and compliance for next steps, and kept the executive team informed in clear business terms. Around hour 8, when a possible root cause was identified through a log correlation I directed, the team rallied. We developed a patch, validated it, and began containment. By dawn, we'd resolved the threat. No data was exfiltrated, and our transparent communication earned the trust of stakeholders. More importantly, though, I realized in that high stakes moment that I was calm under pressure, strategic in chaos, and decisive when it mattered most. Those crisis tested qualities became defining marks of my leadership. That day taught me that while technical skills open doors, it takes strategic thinking, agility, relentless hard work, and steadfast dedication to keep moving forward. Now, as a leader, I champion a culture built on empathy, strategic vision, and unwavering inclusion. I safeguard systems and cultivate teams that honor diverse perspectives, especially neurodiversity. What's meant the most to me on this journey is using my platform to make a difference, especially in something close to my heart: autism awareness. Cybersecurity is about protecting people, and I believe we have a responsibility to protect and uplift every kind of mind. Neurodivergent individuals bring incredible value to our field, and I've made it a personal mission to create spaces within my profession where those living with autism and other spectrum disorders can thrive, be understood, and be given opportunities to shine. We live in a world where diversity of thought and neurodiversity are strengths, not limitations. I've committed to using my influence to create opportunities, foster understanding, and champion inclusivity, especially in the tech world where innovation thrives on different ways of thinking. I have partnered with organizations like MITRE's Autism at Work initiative to actively hire and support professionals on the autism spectrum in cybersecurity roles. Inclusion is not an afterthought, it's the foundation. My mission is to protect not just networks, but people. Of course, I didn't get here alone. I want to thank my family, my parents, and my siblings who believed in me before anyone else did. You reminded me of who I was on the hardest days. To my friends who never let me forget where I came from, thank you for being my anchor and my inspiration. Thank you for this honor. I accept it with pride, with gratitude, and with a promise to keep pushing forward, not just for myself, but for those coming up behind me. This is for everyone who dared to dream big and worked hard to make it real. I'll leave you with a quote from Eleanor Roosevelt that's guided me all these years. The future belongs to those who believe in the beauty of their dreams. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Miss Mary. Mary's word, as it was clear in her speech, is help. Miss Parker Stacy, you are up next.
All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you all for being here tonight. I'm here accepting my award that I made up, the Global Top 100 Designers Award. So, 25 years ago today, I completed my internship with i.c.stars. This is a long-awaited reward to a 14-long strenuous journey filled with happiness, determination, and frustration. We interns had to overcome many obstacles, and the information and life skills I learned there have helped me get to where I am today as a graphic designer. Today, I'm accepting the Global Top 100 Designers Award, which acknowledges the hard work and dedication I've invested into my projects and career. When I graduated from the i.c.stars program back in 2025, I knew I wanted to pursue a career in graphic design. Art is my passion, and I've been creating it since I was born. I originally wanted to go into game development and work on code, but I had a few experiences during the program that shifted that path for me. We had one guest in particular for high tea that really struck out to me. Laura Crossley, a graphic designer and artist who made her own company, Glinda, doing what she loved. Hearing her talk about her passion for creating things to help people gave me all the hope and inspiration I needed to pursue a career in something I genuinely loved to do and was good at. On another instance, I remember one day, my group's mentor, Grace Jensen, the Technical Solutions Department Manager at Burns & McDonnell, had visited the office for a workshop, and after it was over, I showed her a flyer that I had made for my community role as the branding architect. Basically, it was a newsletter detailing everything we'd done so far in the program. And I was really proud of it, I remember. It was my first time using that particular software. So I was kind of just experimenting and familiarizing myself with it. And Grace had come up to me and she told me, "That looks really good, Parker. Not everyone has the gift of being able to make things like this and make them look good." And I really took that to heart, especially because Grace ended up putting me in contact with a UI UX designer at Burns & McDonnell after that. From that moment on, I had the reassurance and acknowledgement that I was good at what I loved to do and that I had the potential to really make something out of myself. Being creative and having a career in design has allowed me to be myself and has given me the tools to keep doing what I love, not only for myself, but for the benefit of others. Upon commencement from i.c.stars, I began my journey by showing my portfolio of work to anyone who would give me the time. I eventually landed a position as a media manager at MMGY Global via a connection with a previous tea guest, Craig Campagnone. I was working on small projects and my bosses took notice of the contributions I was making. Eventually, I was assigned a small project to lead under this role. After a few years and with a few more projects under my belt, I started applying to smaller firms where I could take on a much larger role. I had noticed that smaller firms are more particular in the people they hire, and I had to have enough experience to make the jump. I reached out to that tea guest from 10 years ago, Laura Crossley, and she hired me on at Glinda. There, I led several projects, and I'm still there today. Before I go, I would really like to thank all of you once again for being here. I know it means a lot to everyone here. You guys all took time out of your busy schedules to witness these speeches, and that takes a lot. Words can't describe how incredibly grateful I am for the opportunity that i.c.stars so graciously gave me and each and every one of us 25 years ago, and all the memories that I made and valuable information that I learned there. I would also like to thank my boyfriend, Nico, who's not here with us tonight, for supporting me. I think he was my biggest supporter through it all. Back when I joined i.c.stars, he supported me throughout all 14 weeks, and he was just stuck through my side for all the stress and frustrations and the busy schedule. I don't think I would have been able to complete the program in its entirety without his support and the support of the staff and everyone else in my cohort as well. I'd like to end my speech with a quote whose author is unknown. "Embrace uncertainty. It's the canvas for your greatest achievements."
Thank you, Parker. And Parker's planetary responsibility is to create. Next up, Mr. Quincy Brown. QB.
Hey. Hey, that's reserved for Mighty Mouse only. Well, good evening, everyone. Thank you for coming and joining us. We're gathered here today because I would like to express my gratitude to everyone who played a part in this award. I'm here also to plant some seeds. This honor isn't just mine, it also belongs to who all stood by me and guided me along the way in my gracious yet humble journey. Let's keep pushing forward together with one motto: reach one, teach one. The Humanitarian Award is very prestigious to me for several different reasons. One, I've always strived to be the best at whatever I put my mind to. That also includes just continuing to learn everything that I can when I can. I ask questions often, sometimes too many, as I've been told. I'm sure people were tired of me asking questions because I was like a little kid just pulling on adult shirt tails, always asking questions, intriguing questions, and just soaking up everything like a sponge. My second reason, the many obstacles I faced, that was actually in front of me. One, kind of share with my IT. Back in 2020, I caught COVID. I was probably about one day out from being on a ventilator, as Vicky knows and can witness to that. My O2 levels was down to 78. So it pretty much said, the nurse said if I had 24 hours, I wouldn't be here today to enjoy this day with y'all, my cohorts and family. It was very scary, I must say, very nerve wracking, but I have a great support system. I have prayer warriors around, and I believe in God. So through many prayers, I survived, and that's why I'm here with you today. And I must say, God had different plans for me, and I appreciate those plans. The third reason was all the soft skills I learned and mostly mastered over the years. Three important skills I learned were related to communication: how to listen, how to receive what was said, and how to respond effectively. What I learned was to listen first, receive and analyze everything that was said to me, and then respond effectively and attentively. Active listening goes a long way in your personal and professional life. Before officially retiring, I won't give you that age as yet. It's still to be determined. I had a professional journey that utilized all of these skills. Allow me to give you some background on how I graciously earned the prestigious Humanitarian Award. It started May 12, 2025. It was the first day of this journey I was grateful for. 14 weeks of learning business and soft skills, along with learning tech and coding skills. Where do I start? We did 14 weeks. That was a roller coaster full of emotion, stress, great moments, accomplishments, tears, and whatever else you want to think of. I'm sure everybody can attest to that. After graduating, I started my career in a small IT help desk support role. I worked there for 3 years. Within those 3 years, I gained a lot of knowledge and education, having my hands in pretty much everything. The skills and education that I gained, including learning how to build server racks, working with fiber optic cables, along with sharpening my coding and soft skills. Eventually, I got a bachelor's degree in business management, along with my certifications: CompTIA A Plus, CompTIA Network Plus, CompTIA Security Plus, and Project Management. With my continued education, I landed a great position as a network engineer at SelectQuote. I worked in that position for about 5 years. I then became a senior project manager, and from there, 3 years later, a gentleman I met years ago, who happened to become the CEO of a prominent global corporation, to be determined, wanted to hire me for a top executive position as chief information officer. Several years later after that, I had a great opportunity to become the executive director of my very own i.c.stars in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. One of the key skills they teach you at i.c.stars, which also I learned a long time ago, is the importance of networking. It's one of them gems. I leaned into that skill as a director of i.c.stars in Texas. Using my networks of great people, we were able to secure the financing to open up 10 IC stars with locations across the country, including Texas, New York, Florida, and Los Angeles. Amazingly, they all have been very successful. Each cycle has been in full every term, and the expanded programs continue to fill up consistently. I'm very proud of because all of our locations continuously have very high graduation rates, successful job placements for our interns who continue to get hired at highly respectable companies like 1898 and Co., Burns and McDonnell, Select Quote, Accenture, and also in the healthcare on various levels, just to name a few. There are many reasons why I love what I do. The primary reason is that I enjoy giving back to the community. I want the inner city youth to have every chance to succeed. When I was younger, we didn't have many of these tools or opportunities that exist today. We had trade schools, you could become plumbers, HVAC technicians, electricians, but not much exposure to technology or the career paths that it offers. A brief history of my background in my youth, I didn't have these type of programs readily available for myself to get into tech. So if you didn't go to a magnet high school, which some of you may be familiar with that, you didn't have those opportunities. So I had to work jobs, delivering pizzas, working at warehouses, factories, labs, etc. I wish I had these type of programs during my youth. Maybe I could have gotten a head start in my tech career. That's why programs like i.c.stars are so important. They give eligible individuals a real chance to build meaningful careers in tech. I worked hard to do my best to stay involved in a variety of community development programs. I participated in coding workshops for high school students, helped organize technology donation drives for underserved schools, and partnered with local organizations to host career readiness boot camps. I've also mentored young people through STEM focused after school programs, supported entrepreneurship incubators for youth and high schools, and volunteered at community ethical hackathons aimed at solving real neighborhood and corporate issues. Each of these efforts is about creating access, building confidence, and opening doors that may have seemed shut far too long. Giving back isn't just a part of what I do, it's at the heart of why I do it. I can't forget the people who helped me along the way. I would like to first thank God, first and foremost, because without Him, would none of this be possible. Also, I'd like to thank my mother, my father, and my family. I would also like to thank my awesome circle of friends, Terrence McKelvey, Michelle Jones, Vicky Rawls, and Demetria Young. They were very instrumental in guiding me through not just life, but also helping me develop my soft and business skills. They were all my accountability partners. And I cannot forget my therapist. Yeah, I shared Jamisha with y'all too. She was very intermenstrual in my mental wellness and offering great advice, feedback, and fabulous listening as a fabulous listening ear as well. I would also like to thank the staff, Gustavo, Shamika, Braxton, Shannon, Lachey, Don Shay. I appreciate all of y'all because without y'all listening to us and even being here and want to sacrifice the time, this wouldn't even be possible. So we appreciate y'all too. I think I can speak for the whole cohort. So with that being said, the future here is very bright. I'm excited. I believe there will be plenty more i.c.stars opening up real soon. So in closing, as I look back on my journey, my life, I can truly say that I've gave back to many communities. I opened up many opportunities for young and older people, which in turn may have helped out with many generations to come. My legacy, if I could so humbly describe, I was a purveyor of opportunities and a firm believer in the motto I followed all of my life: reach one, teach one. Again, thank you so much for the opportunity for this prestigious humanitarian award.
Quincy, I hope one of those offices is by the beach. I hope. I hope. Quincy's planetary responsibility is to be an example. Thank you, sir. Up next is Lakil Pierce.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Yeah, we here. We here. Peace, everybody. Peace. Thank you for joining us this evening for our Dream Speech Awards. First off, assalamu alaikum. Peace be upon you all.
First and foremost, all praises be to Allah. Without him, I wouldn't be standing here today, and I wouldn't have anything worth holding on to. Sometimes I still have to pinch myself to make sure I'm not dreaming. And then there's times I wish I was dreaming. And over the years, I've come to realize that this life I'm living isn't my dream. It's God's dream, Allah's dream. And I'm just blessed to be walking in it. As I accept the 2050 Voice for the Voiceless Award, I think about all the moments I was too vocal and the times I wish I had spoken up. This award isn't just about having a voice. It's about using it when it matters the most. 50 years ago, I wanted to be a rapper. At 10 years old, I didn't fully understand what that meant, but rap became the big brother I never had. Growing up as the eldest of four, I didn't have someone to talk to confide in, to get in trouble first, set that kind of tone of, guidance. So I found guidance in the rhythm and the rhyme and the unapologetic truth spoken by brothers and sisters who made the world listen. After graduating from i.c.stars, got my feet wet in the tech world. Really wasn't teching for me. But I never let go of the passion for letting the world know I had something to say. I started small. I was hosting speaking parties. I was speaking at community centers in the hood. And after work, I was even mentoring the young brothers, whoever, just so they can have something, someone. I joined a nonprofit educational organization named Toastmasters International. Toastmasters helped me refine my voice, sharpen my delivery, and strengthen my confidence to speak with clarity and conviction. Here I participated in structured programs of speaking, evaluation, and leadership roles within a supportive club environment. That experience was my pivoting point. It taught me not just how to speak, but how to connect. From there, I launched my own podcast called You Feel Me, a safe space for the misunderstood. Here we vent, guide, and share wisdom, giving voice to those who've been silenced for being misunderstood. Real talk, real healing, real connection, real understanding. You feel me? Just making sure. Now, my next power move of my journey was starting a nonprofit called Ex-Delinquents that's focused on youth development or youth empowerment through spoken word and digital literacy. Me and a couple of fellas that graduated from i.c.stars in the fourth cycle reached out and ran our business proposal to a brother named Lamont, who was exonerated after 23 years of wrongful conviction. He loved our vision and the mission, and from there, the only way was up. That platform opened doors to national speaking engagements, TEDx stages, and eventually global forums. Things weren't always sweet, though. The struggle is real. My pockets was hurting at times. Financial setbacks lingered. Audiences wouldn't even show up. There were even times my voice felt too small to even matter. With the weight of responsibility and trying to be everything for everyone, a familiar voice put its 2 cents in, saying, "Do I belong here? Am I built for this?" Fueled with self-doubt, I became my worst enemy. I lost friends. I lost faith. I even lost myself. Islam gave me life. I leaned on prayer, lectures, on family, and on the words of those who came before me. With that comfort, I snuggled the struggle. Today, that aggressive, misunderstood, light-skinned brother speaks on stages, I speak in classrooms. I even speak in circles where troubled youth learn that their minds are not prisons. I speak from the teachings of the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, and I speak with the power of knowing who I am. Public speaking is not just my profession, it's my mission. It's where purpose meets power. My journey taught me that leadership is not just about being the loudest in the room, it's about being the clearest. It's about lifting others even when you're carrying your own weight. Every speech I ever give, in every lecture, every prayer, every wasted breath was my way of telling the voiceless, I hear you. 25 years deep into this game, this award is more than recognition. It's confirmation. It's confirmation I belong. It's confirmation that even the whispers of the unheard carry enough force to shake the world. Let me share with you the words of Denzel Washington, who once said, "Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship." Ease is a greater threat to progress than hardship. Progress takes struggle, but it's in the struggle that you find strength, in the silence that you find resolve, and in service to others, you find meaning. I call it the beautiful struggle. Finally, I want to thank my beautiful mother, Christina Pierce. Hey, girl. Whose love lit my path long before I knew where I was going. My father, Ronald Pierce, for always being in my corner no matter what. And my sons, Logan and Ledger Pierce, whose existence reminds me every day of the legacy I'm building. And to everyone who stayed in my corner through it all, when my voice shook, when my spirit grew weary, thank you. Your belief was the vibration that's flowed off my lips. This award may have my name on it, but it belongs to every soul who ever feared their voice wouldn't matter. May peace be upon you always. Peace.
Man.
Yeah, we get deep around here. We get deep around here.
I feel like we need a moment of silence after that one. Lakil's word was represent. Nice. Up next, Miss Toya Williams.
Donshay, can you hear me? Okay. I gotta try to keep this tone. Hello, my name is Toya. Well, first off, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I can truly say that I am honored to be accepting the Techie of the Year award. I'm proud of the hard work and determination it took to get here today. It started in 2025, my first role after completing i.c.stars. I began working at a help desk. This was a role in which I grew. During my 2 years of help desk encounters, I was inspired to get further into the tech world. I learned that there were more avenues involving careers in tech than I really knew. This led me to my next role as a data analyst. I was there for 2 years, building upon the curiosity that led me into the world of technology to begin with. While in this role, I learned that self-motivation was power. As I grew professionally, I became more curious and started to go wherever that curiosity led me. Eventually, I found myself as a digital content producer. While in that role for 3 years, I gained more insight into how passionate I was
about being able to explore different facets of creativity. With that self discovery, I transitioned to add digital product designer to my belt of curiosity. That experience was just one of a kind. Unbeknownst to me, for the next 7 years, I would be gathering many of the ingredients necessary to build the many masterpieces I've created today. They all became possible due to the different environments, collaborations, and research projects I have been a part of. I seemed to always take a lesson away from each role and each project, and I was consistently adding to my network from vast industries. All of these experiences up to this point helped me with all that I do today as a creative entrepreneur. All the while, this award further proves I'm doing what is meant for me. I'm thankful, honored, and proud for every opportunity that I've had to work alongside many of my business partners of the vast array of businesses that I'm proud to be a part of. The many different impacts that each and every business holds are unmatched. Like the opportunities for others who are interested in embarking their careers into the creative world of food, music, fragrances, clothing, or even streaming, be it podcasts and acting. Being able to provide guidance with said choices as well as business opportunities and leadership. The opportunity I had at i.c.stars and all that I have accomplished thus far has inspired me to give back and create a grant for mothers to obtain skills to further their careers without the worry of financial strain while pursuing those dreams. As I chose to bet on myself 25 years ago, sorry guys. Let me read that one over. As I knew choosing to bet on myself 25 years ago could be seen as risky with being a single mother of three, no longer working a full-time job, all the while learning tech, business, and leadership skills. I almost talked myself out of attending the program before completing the panel interview, all because I wasn't sure if I could stretch the funds I had until the completion of the program. So, with that being said, I would like to proudly announce the Mom Forward Initiative Grant. This is a transformative grant program designed to empower mothers to pursue meaningful career advancements without the financial strain that often accompanies professional career advancements. Without, I'm sorry. I apologize, guys. All right. Without the financial strain that often accompanies professional development. This initiative supports moms who are determined to build their skills, expand their opportunities, and step confidently into the next chapter of their journey. Whether it's enrolling in certification courses, attending industry training, or launching entrepreneurial ventures, the Mom Forward initiative provides the financial resources and support systems to help mothers move forward with purpose. We believe that motherhood is not a limitation, it's a launch pad. By removing financial barriers and providing access to career enhancement tools, this grant fuels ambition, nurtures growth, and creates sustainable pathways to success. I'm thankful I chose to bet on myself 25 years ago. It was the best thing I could have truly done. I want to thank my mom for all the support she provided. She has been there every step of the way. I'm truly thankful to have you. I have had the opportunity to watch you grow, not only in my life, but my children's life. Thank you, Mom. I would like to leave you with a quote by the journalist Amanda Ripley. Resilience is a precious skill. People who have it, people who have it have three advantages: a belief they can influence life events, a tendency to find meaning and purpose in life's turmoils, and a conviction they can learn from positive and negative experiences. Thank you.
Miss Toya, thank you so much. It is clear with hers that her word is to serve. Thank you. Sure. Yes. We're taking a quick few minutes for a restroom break. That is the type of leadership that Miss Tina Navarro brings to i.c.stars. And she was next.
Right. You caught that too? I caught that too.
Did we have a choice?
That's some nerves kicking in. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
To our listeners at home,
My name is Edric Davis, and I'd like to thank y'all for being here to receive this Nobel Peace Prize. I'm the second of my cycle to receive one, so that's good. This is also being delivered 25 years in the future. So, oh, I moved it and muted it.
It's still on, don't show. It looks good.
Because of the wire. Mhm. Is it being heard or is it? Yeah. Yeah, I moved it. Testing, testing. Okay. All right. It's gonna be a little different, so try not to be too long. 7 years ago, the Emancipation Proclamation was signed. This is a document intended to usher in the freedom for those who had long been denied it. 86 years ago, Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. stood tall in Oslo, Sweden, to accept the Nobel Peace Prize. He did so not in triumph, but in tension. He stood in the honor of those still suffering and on behalf of a movement still marching. Today, I stand in that same spirit, not in celebration of arrival, but in acknowledgement of responsibility. I accept this award as a servant still on his mission, as a product of my people, my city, and my purpose. The Shepherd King. There's a truth I've carried with me my entire life. Shepherds become kings. Because real leadership doesn't start on stage. It starts in the field when you tend the sheep. You don't lead with ego. You lead with vigilance. You stand between danger and the vulnerable. You don't just guide, but you guard. You learn to move with instincts, to earn trust, not through noise, but through consistency, through presence, through integrity. That's how I lead. That's how I always lead. Leadership to me is sacred. It means putting gratitude before ego, finishing the mission even when nobody's watching, even when nobody's clapping. From code to capital. That laugh. My journey didn't start in the boardroom. It started at the keyboard, learning and sharpening my skills in the trenches. Learning full stack development while selling insurance to put food on the table. Both took years to master and do well, which put me well behind my peers by a significant margin. But insurance taught me one thing that's very profound. People don't buy a product. They buy peace of mind. They buy security. They buy trust. The problem was being trusted by my own community, which I came to serve. And it was a very difficult process for the first 3 years. Raising children, working on multiple career paths to gain the experience to take advantage of my future. I saw a need for authenticity in sales teams, so I linked in. I expanded into commercial coverage to give new business owners opportunities, while giving financial advice on the side to create strategies that scale vertically. Then my special sauce was software as a service. We launched our own agency and I grew it. Before I stepped into my role as a capital architect or financial manager, assets under management, managing funds for my team's high-income clientele, where we are not known only for profit, but peace of mind for the reinvestment into our own people. Today, I serve as the Chief Investment Officer, not just of wealth, but of vision. But titles mean nothing if they don't transform lives. Kansas City, my city, has every resource to thrive, and yet so many of our children still go to bed hungry. I didn't read that in the report. I lived it, I saw it, and I made myself a promise it won't happen on my watch. So we all got to work. I invested my time, my knowledge, and my capital. We built an array of free programs that gave away our custom-made food coupons, or modern-day food stamps, like to call it, to our large communities. We involve public servants from high school students to volunteer across the community. We involve business owners, mainly grocery stores, who have received loyalty rewards from our very own hedge fund syndication for their participation. The biggest reward was to see the involvement of my friends and my family in the real estate community with their love for feeding the same community that they work in was a pure example. So we introduced a more culturally relevant approach to nutrition, education, and expanded our tech infrastructure to support long-term health. Rather than offering free classes in skills and financial literacy without follow-through, thanks to i.c.stars example, we took it further. We hosted job fairs, providing stipends for food trucks to serve the entire community and not just those in need. Witnessing these vendors give freely was such a powerful reminder of the strength and generosity within our community. We didn't just feed the people, we changed the system. Because if you're not building something that outlives you, you're just renting history. I came to own it. Gratitude, but I did not get here on my own. To my mother, thank you for planting disciplines deep inside of me. You taught me how to carry myself with pride, even when the world offered me nothing. To my grandmother, the first African-American woman to lead the AFGE local union right down the street here in Kansas City. Your legacy built my backbone. You were a warrior. You didn't ask for permission. You showed up and you transformed every space you entered. You weren't just a union leader. You were the protector of our family and families all across the city. A fighter for justice, your example lives in everything I do. But the work isn't done. This Nobel Peace Prize is not a finish line, it's fuel for generations of opportunity. I intend to keep building here in Kansas City and beyond. More programs, more equity, more education, more ownership, because the work doesn't stop when the applause starts. It starts after the applause fades. So closing, tonight, I'll leave you with the words of my favorite fighter, champion, and servant to humanity. The great Muhammad Ali once said, "Service to others is the rent you pay for your room here on earth." And let me tell you, I have no plans on falling behind on rent. I accept this award for every child who's ever gone to bed hungry in a city full of food. I accept it for every intern learning the code, every single mom building a business, every Black, Latino, Asian, or young Caucasian boy with a dream bigger than his zip code. And I say this with my whole heart. I am because we are. Thank you.
Wow.
Hey, you can throw that mic out the window. Man.
I forgot my pop, excuse me.
Hey, man.
Edric's planetary responsibility is faith. Thank you, sir. We have three more speakers. Up next is Velva Dewberry. Come on down, Velva.
Good afternoon. Came with it. Wow, 25 years ago, if you would have told me I'd be standing here, I probably would have laughed and then asked, which creative pursuit finally paid off? Because back then I was juggling 3 different lanes of creativity. In my printmaking, I created a range of printables, such as calendars, planners, activity sheets, and party invitations, just to name a few. When it came to my craft art, I made handmade candles and coasters that were both functional and decorative. And in fashion design, I designed clothing and accessories that blended creativity with everyday style. But tonight, I'm standing here with this Creative Arts Emmy Award for video editing in my hands. And I'm reminded that being different and thinking outside the box is okay. Because being persistent may lead you to the door, but consistency is the key that unlocks it. First, I would like to thank the Award Academy for this honor. You made me feel honored and humbled, like I should be sitting in my rocking chair telling these stories that start with, back in the day, I was young, but I'm not a kid anymore. You know, the song by Ahmed. I'd like to acknowledge my fellow nominees, You each have made various contributions to this creative world. Now, if we are still around in another 10 years, I suggest we meet up again. Same place, same time, same station, but slightly more orthopedic footwear. You know, a touch of more grandma and grandpa chic in the arts support department. Now to my immediate family, my sister Zoya, my children, thank you for tolerating my late nights and creative deadlock and that experimental phase when I thought I should be a mortician, just so I could communicate with the dead because they had no opinion one way or the other. Now to my mentors, Don Shay, who taught me the courage isn't loud, it's persistent. Braxton, your feedback sharpened each try and I got better. Gustavo, who reminded me that success means lifting others up as I rise. And last but not least, Lachey, whose patience taught me to trust the process. I moved forward because you all believed in me every step of the way. To my collaborators, my i.c.stars, i.c. Cycle 4 Car Hearts, you are the people who made the impossible feel possible. You challenged me to grow, to fail, and to keep showing up. Even when it felt like my work vanished before it could be touched by anyone. You reminded me why art matters. And a special thanks to Toya, Lakil, Edric, and Quincy. Thank y'all for walking beside me through the hardest stretches, for holding space when the weight felt heavy, and for reminding me that I was never alone. Your presence has been both an anchor and a light, and I'm endlessly grateful to call you my tribe. And to the younger version of me, if you can hear this over time, your weirdness is your gift. Your uncertainty is just proof you care. And those long nights wondering if you would ever make it, well, turns out you were already making it every day you chose to create something honest. From the beginning, I honestly had no idea where this path would lead me, and honestly still don't. I just know I am fascinated about how videos could tell a story and how the right cut on a piece of fabric or just making candles could put a touch of elegance into a story or a video. I started out teaching myself the basics, spending late nights learning editing software like Premiere Pro, DaVinci Resolve. It was a lot of trial and error and a lot of frustration, but I loved every minute of it, just trying to figure it out. In the early days, I took on projects where I could edit my own footage. I helped out friends just saying yes to small gigs. Every project, no matter how simple, was a chance to learn something new and stay focused and keep everything running smoothly under stress. Little by little, those simple beginnings became a showcase of my skills I could be proud of. And that opened doors to more opportunities, freelance jobs, collaborations, and some professional roles, which challenged me to keep growing. I'd be lying if I say this journey was always glamorous. It wasn't. I had to overcome obstacles like adapting to new editing software, financial constraints, and more importantly, creative blocks because my memory is not the best. All my creative passions were fueled by collaboration, communication, creativity, and storytelling, each one shaping me into the artist and the person I am now. Artists have a gift. They have a gift of telling a story, whether it be an individual story or a community story. And with that gift comes the responsibility of translating that story into a unique and truthful way so that it may be received by viewer or listeners. Art is sensory, and by using our senses, we use art to convey messages and invoke emotions, whether we are the maker or the receiver. And both roles require curiosity and courage to truly see and feel the impact. After graduating from tech school, I started my first job as a graphic designer. And honestly, I felt like it was such a huge step. I remember walking in on my first day feeling excited and nervous and wondering if I was really ready to take on everything I learned and put it into practice. In that role, I worked on all kind of projects like designing logos, brochures, social media graphics, things I had only practiced in class before. It was surreal to see my work out in the world, helping real companies and individuals share their messages. I learned so much during that time, not just about the technical side of design and how to use different design tools and a variety of techniques. I also learned how to listen to feedback, collaborate with a team, and find creative solutions under pressure. It was challenging, but it gave me the confidence to grow into my career and trust my abilities as a designer. So, to everyone out there, try to find your place in this wild creative world. Don't quit. Keep making things, keep experimenting, and keep believing that your perspectives is worth sharing, even when the world has not caught up yet. Thank you from the bottom of my heart for this award. I am honored beyond words, and I have been waiting to say this for a very long time. I told you so. And that's to everybody who thought I should get a real job. Thank you for believing in my work, my vision, and the power of art. I love my work, but it can and will continue to be hard. But with that comes satisfaction and pleasure. Art inspires us to connect to one another more deeply and to open our eyes and hearts to new ways of seeing. It allows me to blend creativity with technology. I ask each of you to be courageous and to push past the boundaries of what you think you can or what is possible. Embrace wonder and take risks.
Man, the energy has heightened. Two more remaining. Velva's planetary responsibility is to create. Thank you, Velva. Angel Gaitán Noriega is up next. Come on down.
Good evening, all, and thank you so much for coming and giving me your time. I am more than honored to be receiving the prestigious Carnegie Medal of Philanthropy today. I want to first highlight and thank some of the important people that made this dream moment possible. Thank you to my mother, my grandmother, and of course, my blessing, Alyssa Horn. These amazing women have supported me through it all, and I know I have not always been the easiest person to work with. Growing up, my mom would call me strong-willed. Nonetheless, they have given me the encouragement and opportunity to be standing here today. The need to make an impact has been a feeling I've long had. When I was asked what I wanted to be when I grew up for the first time, response was, I want to be a police officer. And of course, straight after I was asked why, and I responded, I want to help people. This continued to be the answer whenever I was asked why I wanted to go into a profession. After I wanted to be a police officer, I wanted to be a firefighter. And after that, I decided I just wanted to be wealthy so I could help the homeless and all those wronged by the world. The common thread is helping others. As I went through my adolescence, this feeling morphed into my purpose. As I have watched the world around me become more sick, this purpose to make a difference felt more and more necessary. You can predict the rest, right? Filled with such great purpose and unyielding determination, I excelled in everything, and it's why I am here today. Well, you'd be wrong. The truth is much more complex. As I observed the world around me getting worse, the more despair would consume me. This overwhelming feeling of despair, paired with the complexities and stress of daily life, would lead me to succumb to mental illness. I went on to drop out my junior year at 16 and completely lost sight of my purpose. I'd given up on my future. I would spend the next couple of years using substances to cope, getting into other reckless behaviors, drinking and driving, etc. And I would circulate around psych wards. Eventually, I would meet an influential person named Alyssa. I was smitten, and with the strength of our relationship, moved me through a journey of self-development. Although we both came without prospects, we would take on the challenges of the world. An economic crisis, car troubles, navigating adult responsibilities for the first time, etc. And eventually, in 2025, I'd rediscovered the road to fulfill my purpose. Through the tremendous aid of i.c.stars, my purpose moved from a dream to a plan and became possible. Upon commencement in 2025, I took a job as a software help desk tier 1. This was only the beginning, however. Filled with the same purpose, I worked harder to climb through all tiers of help desk and eventually landed my first junior developer position. Seeking more, I sought a position in an organization that shared my purpose. I earned the opportunity to become a software engineer for the NGO Doctors Without Borders. I continued learning and earning certifications in tech while also learning the world around me, traveling and meeting all kinds of people. Moved with my time at Doctors Without Borders, I took a leap in starting my own NGO. With the help of those in my network, we started developing systems that would solve the food scarcity problem. Hunger would become a thing of the past. We created a system to track and govern the distribution of food so it is done equitably, domestically, and internationally. Additionally, the system provides job opportunities to those who might just need another chance within the distribution network. I eagerly look forward to applying the same system to tackling the crucial need for housing around us. My next step is to look into funding the construction of affordable housing and improving the systems that are in place to grant opportunities to live in that housing. Thank you all once again for the award and testament of resilience. I'd like to all leave you with one last thought from Helen Keller. Although the world is full of suffering, it also is full of the overcoming of it. Thank you.
Angel, thank you. Angel's planetary responsibility is change, change, change. And last but not least, coming up is Marely Herrera.
Before I start, I want to say that all the words that I heard tonight is so deep and it's wonderful. You are so great, everyone. Everyone, forgive me. I feel a little bit motivated. Okay, let me start. Good evening, everyone. It is with immense gratitude and humility that I accept the Global Impact in Tech Empowerment Award, standing here in 2050. I reflect not just on a personal journey, but on a collective dream. One that began with a simple idea that talent knows no gender, no age, and no borders. Today, I am the proud founder and CEO of Code Sin Fronteras, Coding Without Borders, the world's leading software development company dedicated to training and recruiting Hispanic women from disadvantaged backgrounds. We are not just a tech company, we are a movement that believes every woman, regardless of her age, origin, or past, deserves a seat at the table of innovation. But this didn't happen overnight. I didn't start in tech with a head start. I started late in life. I was a Mexican immigrant woman in the United States, working long hours, cleaning houses and warehouses on the production line. I had no computer science degree, no roadmap, not even a clue where to begin. But I had something stronger than fear, determination. My path wasn't straight or traditional. It was winding road fueled by curiosity and courage. I studied software engineer, but also studied people. I learned that empathy, resilience, and communication are as essential to building a great solution as any programming language. And step by step, I transformed my life by turning what I once thought were obstacles into the very skills that set me apart. And yes, my journey was far from easy. I had a deep passion for coding, but life tested me in every way. During a high-risk pregnancy, I lay in bed with my computer, determined to learn. Even then, I took one small project. We were in great need, and I remember how every Friday, the person I work for would come to my house to pay me. That little job helped us survive. Eventually, I made the difficult decision to pause my dream and raise my children. I wanted to shape them into kind, responsible citizens, but I never stopped growing. While at home, I taught myself English and coding at the same time, buying $10 tech courses in Udemy, forcing myself to learn both skills together. When my youngest started school, I returned to work. I began cleaning houses for very low pay, often facing mistreatment. Later, I worked in a warehouse doing hard physical labor, but my coding knowledge allowed me to assist the team lead and improve her processes. That opened the door to a promotion. I became a team lead and continued applying what I knew. Curious about the tools that the company used, I discovered it taught myself Power Apps and built an app on my own. The managers were delighted. When the company changed over ownership, the new leadership didn't value Hispanic people, especially no woman in leadership. After nearly 4 years of dedication, I lost my job. I was devastated. It was winter, January 2025, and I was desperately searching for a job. That's when I found i.c.stars. We always say i.c.stars was a gift from God, a true blessing. I found everything. I found everything I needed: training, friendship, professionalism, a safe space, opportunities, and love. i.c.stars opened doors that I thought were forever closed. They inspired me to follow their example, to reach out and live as people and women like me who just need a chance, a helping hand to rise to the next level. After completing my internship in i.c.stars, i.c.stars helping me land my first professional project. It was a huge milestone, and with it came the opportunity to hire two people. Without hesitation, I chose to hire two young Hispanic women who, like me, had big dreams. They were dreamers, aspiring to go to college, full of potential and determination. Project after project, we gave it our all. We didn't just build software, we built a sisterhood. Together, we started a community of Hispanic women coders, dedicating our time to offer free training and support to others like us. We knew the power of opportunity and we wanted to pass it on. That's how Crossing Fronteras was born, not just as a name, but as a movement rooted in resilience, unity, and the belief that borders shall never define our potential. At Crossing Fronteras, we create a model that works: free training, mentorship, flexible schedules, and a real job placements. We have partnered with companies who believe in our mission, and slowly we began to change the face of tech. Today, our graduates are building apps that serve their communities, leading teams in Fortune 500 companies, and even launching a startup of their own. We're training over 2 million women across 30 countries, and we are just getting started. But this award is not mine alone. I want to thank my family who believed in me when I had nothing but a dream. I want to thank my mentors and our sponsorship by Burton McDonald, who opened doors and challenged me to talk through them. I want to thank every woman who joined our program. Your courage is the reason that we exist. And I want to give a very special thank you to my i.c.stars family: Gustavo, Lachey, Donshay, Brandon, Braxton, Shamika, Jamisha, Shannon, and all my cohort. Being part of i.c.stars was a turning point in my life. It was through this incredible program that I began to see doors open, doors I never thought I allowed to go through. They didn't just teach me tech, they taught me to believe in myself. They gave me the tools, the confidence, and the community to dream bigger than if I ever imagined. We live in a world still grappling with inequality, but we also live in a world where one idea, one person, one act of courage can spark a revolution. So, to every young girl or old woman watching this, especially those who feel invisible, you are not too late, too old, too poor, or too broken to begin. You are exactly what the future needs. I end with a call from Shirley Chris Hope that has guided me through every challenge. If they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. Well, we brought folding chairs and we built our own table. Thank you.
Man, Mareli's planetary responsibility is to inspire. And with that, that ends our Cycle 4's Dream Speech Night. I hope you were all inspired, motivated, changed, and so many more things. Thank you. Thank you for staying a little bit longer than we planned for. Thank you for your time and your support. Thank you to the staff and the team. Thank you to the interns for your vulnerability, for sharing your dreams with us and your hopes. And we're rooting for you. You are not alone. Graduation, commencement is just the beginning, right? So thank you for tonight. Y'all have a great night. You could have been anywhere else, but you chose to be here, and we're truly grateful for that. Thank you, thank you, thank you, and have a great night.